Bumblebee reporting for duty. You're late again.
Autobots?
Welcome back to the Tiger Gear Hanger. This is Mike. Today I want to talk to you about the FansToys FT-56 Variator. It's their take on a very G1-esque, cartoon accurate-ish version of Gears, and I think it's a very good looking figure. And of course we are going to do comparisons to this, get it transformed up, look at both modes, and I do have a link where you can get this at Show Z. I did get this at Show Z, and there'll be a link down below. But anyway, let's get and take a look at it. Variator, put a little variety in your Gears options. Coming up. Okay, so first of all, we're going to talk about the box, and it looks like a very, well, usual box we get from FansToys now. There's artwork because it's supposed to be cartoon accurate. It's not toy accurate. It's not any other type of accuracy there. And then we can kind of see it with a few other characters and kind of what you can expect out of this guy. Standard FansToys box. Right out of the box, he's probably going to be saying that Spaceball things. How come nobody told me my butt was this big? But you just have to spin it around. One of the packaging quirks that FansToys likes to do. Still don't truly understand it 100%. I kind of act like I think I do, but I don't 100% understand all of that. This is one really nice looking figure. Painted, I wouldn't say it's head to toe, but it's painted where it is painted. It's painted very well, like the lower legs toe. But the actual toes themselves, I'm not sure if that is painted or not. But there is quite a bit on here. He looks very nice. You can see where the head shines, but the chest doesn't because this isn't painted. It's just bare plastic, I believe. But the shoulders, the arms are. So for a mini bot, this is a lot of paint. And there's a lot of die cast in it for being a mini bot. Feels hefty, feels good. All the joints are really tight and it feels really solid. It's just a very quality feeling figure and it looks really good. So finally we're getting an update to Gears and we're going to get a contender here. Will it beat the Bad Cube? I mean, that's going to be up to you, but we're going to get into looking at that. Let's take a look at accessories next. So it comes with two different guns, and you can do a few things, a few options with it. You can connect them and make the gun like I showed in the intro. Then you can fold this back out of the way if you'd like to have just a single gun like this, or you can fold this back and have that handle for that gun, or you can have two handles, however you would like to do it. But I think what makes the most sense would be to have two separate guns. And here he is holding his guns. They do have that tab that tabs backwards into it. I just kind of did these off camera. Move it along a little bit faster so that we could get through all this fun stuff. So next we're going to get into faces. And his face, that's his standard grump face. Probably what you would want to keep on there. But then you can swap out his face. And guess I push that back. Get that back up front there. Let's bring in this really grumpy face, like extra grumpy. And then you close that down, and you've got his extra grumpy face. I like this. I like how it swaps out. Its face isn't going anywhere. That's really good. So I like that. Then you get a whole bag of all these faces, and I'll show a couple more. And here's the happy face, and then we have, I don't know what you call these other faces. This one here looks angry, yelling, serious, and I don't know, just sort of semi-smiling. He also comes with this hook piece, which I had a heck of a time getting on there, and I really feel like I mashed up the paint a bit, and that's not even all the way on there. It's kind of, I don't know, this doesn't seem to be working very well for me, but that's what it is. Okay, this is actually a welding torch from whatever it was when he had his gear changed. They changed his attitude chip or emotion chip or that personality chip. And we're going to see in Bad Cube they actually include the personality chip, but at least they showed something here, and this is from that episode, and that works. So if you like that, then that's a thing. But it plugs into these two little notches, but not very well. And then getting the hand back out is not very much fun. And so what I did was use my Chuck Norris tool. Chuck Norris gets his hand out. Chuck Norris can do this. Then why can't you, Mike? I don't know. Good point, but that's kind of how it works. Fold it in and tab that in. That's how you get the welder. So let's look real quick here at the articulation with this guy. His head can go up and down, and it does surprisingly a lot. It's a giant head of his, and you can blow his top off and all that. His shoulder goes all the way out to here, and it can disconnect to give you. Mine disconnected to help me get that butterfly, but then you kind of want to get it back in there. And then it goes out to here. You got the 360, you got the bicep swivel, and then you have a double jointed elbow, which is all fantastic. Hand can rotate really tight, really, really tight. And then you have just the, what people like to call typewriter fingers. So you have the static thumb, and then the rest of the fingers open up. Then you do have a really nice, like, magic square level of hinge right here for the ab crunch. And then you have the waist swivel. And then this is what people probably would complain about, I would say, is that it's got a uni flap for the front, the waist flap there. But it's a small figure, and I'm not going to have super dynamic poses on them. But yeah, that's you're going to have that up every time you have a dynamic pose on them. We go all the way out to there and ratcheted. This is very tight tolerance to the side. It's still pretty nice. And then you have the universal swivel there. And then you have what I think is a double joint. Let's get the second joint. No, we're not getting double jointed out of it. That's okay. We don't really need it. It goes that far. So let's get it up. It looks like that in the air. And then we got some ankle tilts. That's about it. No front and back with it. I'm not getting any front and back on it. Still, I don't think it really needs it. I think you can get all the poses you're going to need with this guy with all of the articulation for a mini-bot. Not bad at all. Okay, so for comparison, we're going to be looking at the G1 next to him, and this is where did we come from, where have we been, and where are we going. This is where we're at now, and it looks really good. I want to also point out that we've come a long way. This looks fantastic, but this is a 10-second transformation. All right, what I think most people want to see is the difference between him and Bad Cube Grump. You're going to be like, well, everybody else that reviewed him compared him to Bad Cube Grump too. I didn't compare him like this. I'm going to show that you can open up his chest, what the inside of the chest looks like, and the inside of the chest here looks like, as much as I can, you can see that piece in there. So there we go. I do think the interior design looks a whole lot better on the FansToys. It worked out a little bit better, but you do have this gimmick where you have that one little piece to go in there. That's the one thing Bad Cube's really got on it. Looking at it from the side, there it is, cleaner, very, very clean. Looking at it from the back, I know I didn't really do much looking at it at the back earlier, but I knew we were going to do all of this. See, this kind of always got on my nerves a little bit, but then again, I don't really care about the back of them. It doesn't really matter. It's not going to bother me that much. There we go. And then looking at the gun, though, it's a much smaller gun than what Bad Cube got, but I think it's really nice. I mean, I think what they've done, FansToys done a really good job. In 7 or 8 years, come along since the Bad Cube, it's been upgraded. And I bet most people compared him next to like MP44, but this is Magic Square's Prime, and I really think it looks great. I'm curious how their Toy Deco version comes out. Well, the next one that's coming, but this one looks amazing, and altogether this looks fantastic. And I almost forgot the iGear version, mostly because of the fact that I don't think of this as gears, because it's not really gears. But yeah, iGear made one, and there it is. It's super rudimentary. This is not actually the gears version. This is the, what is it, Swerve, whatever they call the other one. Anyhow, there is super old, like going back to the first sort of semi-masterpiece gears. Getting into the transformation, let's go ahead and start with getting his hands put away. I like to put them away like this so I can get them back out a little bit easier. That is much easier for me to get them back out. We can open up his chest here and come around to the back, and then open up this back piece here. All right, this comes up. These pieces can fold out. Then we're going to bring this top piece here out. So this is coming up like so. And this is going to make the roof. It's kind of bumping it out. So his backpack is like a backpack condensing mechanism that they've used. And that tabs in up top there. And then keeping these out. I got a little bit ahead of myself, but we need to untab these arms right here. And then this is going to come out, and then we will fold these down and flip these around. Then we have to do a few things here. There's a lot of stuff going on here. We need to open this out, pull the head back, and flip this around. And that's going to kind of open up an ability to flip this around, and then you can get this moved all the way around. And with that, things are going to start to make a little bit more sense. They're going to start, I kind of like to transform things the way they make sense. And with that, we're going to put this wheel here into place, and this wheel here into place, and then we're going to fold this out, and it's not going to come down just yet because we need to put the arms into place. And then we are going to keep that head back. The arms are going to do some really cool stuff. This is something that I think is a really interesting. When we kind of make them go down like so, and then they're going to fold around and then flip into place here. Oh, didn't need to twist that. No twist. Flips into place right here like this. And the cool thing about this is it kind of steps up, which I think that's really kind of interesting how they did that. So fold this around, and it will go into here. Now the second one's harder. The second one is much harder to get it into there. So again, I twisted it and I turned it, and it doesn't need to turn. And be real careful not to scratch your paint right here. This is a spot where you could definitely scratch your paint. I can see that happening. Now there's two tabs. It tabs all that into it. Okay, now we're going to do some crazy stuff with the head. The head is going to open up and then rotate around, and then you fold this little piece here in, and then it's going to go all the way into here like this, and then this little flap needs to stay out, and that's when that's going to close up, and then this is going to close up. All this is going to make a lot more sense now that we've got all that in there. Tab that in, and tab this side here in. Probably makes sense if I just flipped it around. And so we got the front end pretty much done here. There we go. We're getting really close. There's the front end. All right, so next we need to push this in all the way, and then we need to tab this up right here into place. Then we're gonna start working on the legs, and with the legs we have to do a couple of things. We need to open this up, and then spread it out just a little bit more until it notches right there. There's a notch right there. Then we're going to close it. We're turning this whole foot into basically, they just cleaned it up. We're uncleaning it up. It's basically all that we're doing right here. We need to fold this out like so. And then we can fold this back in. Then this is going to come out, and it is going to make that. So lazy engineering would have been just leave this like this and just fold it around, but they gave a few extra steps here to clean that up, and that's kind of what we're doing here. We're just kind of paying for it to be so much cleaner, and really this is quite interesting how they did this. There's some stuff in there. Bring that back up, and then fold this red piece out, open this up, fold it down, fold it around, tabs in, this goes down here, and then from here we are going to fold this over, but we have to disconnect it. So it's kind of hard to get to disconnect this tab in here. So with a little bit of wiggling, you can it just kind of disconnects itself and come around. And we have to double hinge it around. So push it down like so, and then get it to double hinge around until it goes into place. And it just kind of pops right into place here. Make sure that's right. That's going to tab in. It's all going to tab in, right? Theoretically. Let's go ahead and do the other side and then tab them all in together. So wiggle this till it comes loose. Come on, come loose, wiggle it just a little bit, and then we're going to try to get this first double joint down and then fold it around. And there we go. It's all working together. Hey, there it goes. All right, so here it is in the alt mode, and I think it looks nice as an alt mode. Of course, all that paint shines through. It looks very shiny, very paint shiny, and everything tabs together really nice. Actually, once it's all done and you just kind of tab it together. I noticed that a lot about the FansToys. Once it's all together and you just tab it, it all just clips together right. So that's really a good thing about FansToys. I'm not 100% sure if this is extremely tune accurate. It's not as toy accurate, which I don't really need it to be toy accurate, to tell you the truth. So it's cool. It's a very nice looking take, and it's a pretty good size little truck as it would scale next to like sports cars and stuff. Of course, he's a mini bot, so he's not going to be as big as Optimus Prime and those kinds of things. Optimus Prime's a different kind of truck. It does have rubber wheels, and it rolls. He rolls? He rolls? Yeah, he rolls. He rolls. Nice. Like, really nice. So that's a lot of good things about it. I usually don't keep mine in alt mode very long, but long enough to do some comparisons. Before we do comparisons, here is his weapon, and you can do this and clip it into the notches right there. Like that. Same thing over here. Other weapon. And notches. If that's the thing you want to do, I don't at all. So I'm going to take them off. But that's just something you can do. And let's go ahead and get into some good comparisons. Alright, here he is next to Optimus Prime. Prime time. And that sort of feels right, I guess, in a way. It does kind of feel right. Let's compare it to G1. There's one comparison. Definitely not going for the toy, and I guess mine just doesn't want to stay together, right? But if you look at it side by side, this is kind of more symmetrically portioned, and then this kind of tapers off in the front, which makes me think that that is more cartoon accurate. Didn't really look up the cartoon version of it, but since we have so many to compare it to, I don't think it really matters. We got Bad Cube, and if you can see, Bad Cube does kind of stack up to the G1 toy a little bit more, but it's, see, this one's boxy. This one is boxy. This one does kind of taper off up top like this one does. Splitting hairs, just what do you like? Of course, obviously. That's the big difference. What do you like? And then I thought it'd be kind of fun to compare it to this X-Transbots Arcos. A lot of fun right there. Alright, so this is my look at the FansToys Variator FT-56. And as a mini bot, $110 figure, I think it's a very solid upgrade. I do like it more than the Bad Cube, but it is 6 to 7 years newer than the Bad Cube. I will keep the Bad Cube in the alt mode, which is always what I like to do with the old ones, the seconds. But this does kind of inspire our video for tomorrow, so that's going to be a lot of fun too. Let me know what you think about this figure in the comments below. I do have a link for you to get this at ShowZTH reviewer code if you like. And like and subscribe. Better hear me out.
Autobots, transform!
Too late, Starscream!
It's never too late, Autobot.
I'd
He's hurt.
But Megatron's getting away!
Ironhide's been hit bad.
It's like we might be falling right into a trap! Ironhide's carrying too much lead in his caboose.